What's up? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel. Thank you. So here I have an article from Bounding into Comics, and they say, rumour, the Lord of the Rings scholar Tom Shippy fired for telling Prime Video they were polluting the lore. Now, if this is indeed true, this doesn't look good for Prime Video, and the trailer, in fact, doesn't look good either. So now this is really coming to a head at this moment in time. I think you're going to see a massive shake-up in the entertainment industry after this drops, because I am fully expecting this to be an absolute disaster. You even have shill media that's out there now tempering people's expectations. This is a project with allegedly $1 billion put into it, and it is looking bad. And again, like I said, when you've got shill critics and shill writers and shill media outlets out there already tempering expectations before a September release, it's looking bad. Now you've got this coming out here, which is obviously a rumour, but Tom Shippy wasn't let go from this show for nothing. And when you have a clear idea as to what Tom Shippy is for, which is to tell people how you're supposed to do this but not supposed to do that, it becomes clearer then when you see the likes of producers coming out and saying we wanted to reflect the real world and politics and things at hand at the moment, versus then when you have the likes of quotes from Peter Jackson that state that he wanted to just put J.R.R. Tolkien's message into the movies rather than his own. Now I'm just paraphrasing on Peter Jackson there, but you get the gist of it. Now you look at this here and you've got the Rings of Power main teaser. One of the comments that are made in the trailer are, the past is dead. We either move forward or we die with it. Now, this has very Last Jedi vibes to it, and that was the first thing I thought when I heard this. So that's twice in massive productions that are having an awful lot of attention be poured onto them, given the past that they actually have, and why they are so popular currently is because of the past. It seems very at odds to say, yeah, don't worry about what came before. But that's exactly what these people, what these companies are trying to do and have done for the last number of years. We've seen it on a smaller scale in the comic book world, where they'll retcon something or they will go back in time to wipe everything out, and then they will set it up and say, oh, this is how Spider-Man looks now, or this is how Wally West looks now, or this is how Batman looks now. All these crazy different stories that they have now, because they're saying, don't worry about the past and what we've shown and told you before. We're just going to remove it at will, and we're not going to respect it whatsoever. It also has a connotation, I think, in the real world, because when these people are the very same people then that buddy up and cozy up with people that are telling you not to use the past and highlight the past, particularly when you see things over the last couple of years come into light, and also then as well too certain things happening to people over the last couple of years, you're saying to yourself, now you don't want me to honour and respect and know the past, but you want to utilise that and use it then so that you can manipulate people? I think not. You see Gina Carano that accurately reflected what was going on at the time in the last 2 years, and she was someone that was actually sacked from her job for doing that, for actually pointing out how people were being treated that was exactly the same as people had been treated before. So that's why these people aren't keen on you knowing the past and knowing history. Instead, what they want to do is they want to radically alter it. And not too long ago did we see a historical figure, an actual historical figure, be played, even though it was a white woman, be played by a black woman. So again, they want to alter history, they want to change things, and they want you to forget about it long enough so that they can change things as they want at will. So that's where I think those type of comments come from, and I think it's very understandable for people that are out there that are wide awake to what's going on. You've got Prime Video here, which is just something I want to point out also, with 1.49 million subscribers. This video has 10 million plus views. It has 63,000 likes. Now, over the last couple of months, and indeed the last year in particular, the likes of this company here, being YouTube, has said to people, hey, for the smaller creator, we're going to remove the dislike button for your own health, for your own mental health. And the likes of me said, no, don't do that. I would rather see and let people see how many people like my video and how many people dislike my video. I think that that's a good thing. I think it lets people know, hey, I'm not alone either way. And I think that that's a fantastic thing. And ultimately, here's the truth of the situation. The truth is this. I can still see how many people don't like my video. I'm still told a percentage in analytics. So you're not doing it for my mental health. You can tell me that for sure. What you are doing it for is you are doing it for the likes of Amazon. You're doing it for the likes of Disney and other places then that people had highlighted at the time of how come there's so many dislikes on this material and only that many likes that are actually showing the disparity between actual fans and people then that are just consuming this nonsense. But ultimately, you've got to look at it like this too. Whilst people are probably heavily disliking this, as has been reported by Ryan Connell at RK Outpost, I think that this trailer at the time of his reporting was sitting at 60,000 likes and in and around 150,000 dislikes. I know that when Nerdrotic recorded his video, the ratio had changed, and also as well too, when the Quartering recorded his video, the ratio had also changed and much more in favour of the dislike than the like. But you've also got to notice that this has 10 million views. Prime Video has 1.49 million subscribers and it has only gotten 63,000 likes. So not even the people that are on board with you, even if you wanted to say all 1.49 million of the people subscribing to Prime Video are mad for it, they haven't even agreed with this. That's not good for you. This means that there's an awful lot of apathy towards this show, and allegedly there's been 1 billion put into this show. So you not only have fans that are against this, you also have people that are totally apathetic towards this, and even the shield media is out there going, lads, we think you have an uphill battle on this one. We think this is a big mountain to climb at this stage. I think this is going to be, as they say, one ring to rule them all. Because I think that this is going to be the show that is finally going to stop the entertainment industry in its tracks, and it is going to make all of them start to recalibrate and start to then say, okay, we better start respecting fans, we better start listening to fans, and we better start casting things correctly. We better start respecting that source material, and we best start implementing that source material to get the fans back. Here's the thing, The Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, was very successful. How do you take something that is extremely successful, that is beloved nearly 20 years, I think maybe over 20 years at this stage, after its release, and then you do this with it? This is an absolute disaster for Prime Video. And similarly as well too, you've seen it with Star Wars, when Disney takes over an absolute juggernaut of a franchise and crashes it so badly into the ground that people just do not care anymore and don't want to have anything to do with it. It's sad. It is actually sad to see this, and that's why fans like me and others that are out there talk about it, because it is a beloved franchise, it is a beloved property, it is the fans' property as far as I'm concerned, and that's why people are right to be out there making videos criticising this. And I can't wait for this show to drop, for people to do reviews on this, and for people to laugh at this, because this is exactly what it's going to encourage. It's encouraging people laughing at it. You've seen some of the comments that are made in this main teaser alone, where Galadriel is talking to what seems to be Elrond, looks nothing like Elrond, and she says, "You haven't seen what I've seen." And he says, "I've seen it." And she says, "No, you haven't." It's like a Monty Python sketch. "I've seen it." "No, you haven't." "Yes, I've seen it." "No, you haven't." So that's exactly the type of stuff that you have here. No whimsical, fantastical stuff that's going on here. You've even got the dialogue is just cheap, awful, and just very generic. You're in massive trouble here now, Prime Video, and the only way that you can change this is what you're exactly doing now at this moment in time, which is you are changing the wording around the promotion and marketing of this show based on the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. They are not saying anymore that this is a direct translation. They are not saying anymore that this is absolutely 100% a prequel to those movies. They are not saying it has anything to do with the books now at this stage. They are just saying it's an interpretation at this stage. So now what they're doing is they're trying to remove themselves away from that so that they don't get caught up in people pointing it out and saying, "You said it was this, it's not this at all." Instead they're saying, "Well, we did our own thing over here." No, not good enough. People have wised up to it. It's great to see, and that's why the internet exists, and that's why the internet is getting even stronger and stronger, particularly with fan communities when they're saying, "No, we're not having this." And I think they're absolutely 100% right to do so. This is an big trouble now at this stage, in my opinion. I think it's an impending failure. And I think Amazon, which is quite surprising to me, that they have a failure like this on their hands, yet they put out the terminal list there starring Chris Pratt, and that's amazing. If you haven't seen it yet, what I would do and what I would suggest is, I would suggest that you watch the terminal list starring Chris Pratt. It is fantastic. It is much more pleasing, and it is much better than this is ever going to be. So that's what I suggest you should do. You should check that show out. I think you will very much so enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I absolutely loved it. And that's possibly what needs to be done. People need to be directed in other avenues. You got, for example, Eric D. July, Young Ripper, that's past $2 million now at this stage, I think, on his comic book. It's awesome to see. It's fantastic. Independent is the way forward, I think. And especially when the money's on the table. These people are leaving that out there. You want to then go with this agenda, this woke agenda. That's fair enough. People just move on and go, I'm going to watch this over there. I'm signing up for the next terminal list show if they do one. 100%. I absolutely think it's fantastic. And that's the way fans are going to go now. They're going to go, you want to honour the source material? Yeah, we'll follow that over there. And this one, apathy, dislike, disdain. And that's what you're going to continue to have. You should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. And I think the fact that this is coming out of the same studio, the same place, it baffles me. Now, I think it's good to have differences of opinion. I think it's good to have audiences in mind. But you had a massive audience built in. You had a massive fan base built in to the Lord of the Rings. And you basically told them where to go. What a mistake to make. And this is one that they're going to rue for sure. But this would be the one I think that's going to make Hollywood wise up. And I think this is going to shock them all. I hope so indeed anyway. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel. I'll talk to you later. Good luck.